Can we go live now? Is everyone ready? Oh, it's live already.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. So, welcome to this AMA session on PG admissions at IIT Hyderabad 2023. My name is Dr. Naresh Manwani, and I am associated with Machine Learning Lab at IIT Hyderabad. I am also a PG coordinator. Along with me, there are 4 other panel members. So I would like to introduce them. We have Professor C.V. Jawahar, who is Dean R&D at IIT Hyderabad. He is also Amazon Chair Professor and Head CVIT Research Group, which focuses on research in computer vision. We have Professor P.K., who is PG Chair at IIT Hyderabad. He is also a professor at IIT Hyderabad and heads a research group called Precog, which focuses on different aspects of social systems, including their privacy and security. We have Professor Vikram Pudi, who is the chair of admissions at IIT Hyderabad. He is also professor and associated with a center called DSEC, which focuses on data analytics and data engineering. We have Professor Raghu Reddy, who is associate professor at IIT Hyderabad. He's associated with Software Engineering Research Center. So I would like to request the panel members to say a few words, and then we will go for questions. So Professor Vikram, can you start?
Okay, so welcome all of the participants for this session. So this is a session where, basically we are looking forward to answer your questions. So we'll be hoping for a good number of questions and we can answer them. We will speak very briefly. So just to tell in short, I will be answering any questions that are from the admissions angle. So this is basically for the PGEE entrance exam, so which is our main mode of admissions to IIT Hyderabad, the PGE programs, and we have this entrance exam for the MTech, MS, and PhD programs. So for the MTech programs, we have computer science and computer science information security. And the new PTM program, the design program. So that is what I had to say. I think I'll move on to PK.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the session, and I'll be happy to answer questions around the thesis submission, the MS. By research program, telling you about details of how the thesis evaluation happens, and anything to do with your research work. Now I'll give it to Professor Jawahar.
Thank you. So welcome to this session. So welcome to IIT. IIT is a research university with focus on research in areas centered around IT and IT applications or IT connected to many other disciplines, including humanities, science, and civil engineering, etc. So you can look at our website to know the broad areas of research and broad scope of activity. So we have a PG program where PG programs starting from MTech to MS and PhD. So I'm sure there are applicants of all the different programs here already. We will like to take questions from all of you and try to answer to the best of our knowledge. I'll be happy to answer general questions about research and too as we move forward. Hand over possibility.
Yeah, hello and welcome again. So I'm Raghu. I work in Software Engineering Research Center, and I also head the program on MTech in product design and management. So any questions regarding that specific program, I'll be able to answer, and other questions I'll pitch in as and when necessary. So I'm already seeing a lot of questions coming out in the Q&A session. So we'll probably not take a long time and get started.
So one of the question which is majority of the people are asking is about the what kind of question paper it is, whether it is objective or subjective, and they are also asking about maybe the syllabus of the question papers. So Vikram, could you please answer that question?
Which question?
Regarding the pattern of the
Which
question
question?
paper.
So Naresh, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. So can you guys hear me?
Yes, I think he's kind of summarized the Vikram.
Yeah, suddenly,
Yeah, the
now,
voice is breaking a bit.
suddenly-
was talking about
Yeah,
some mute.
now,
I think he's
it's
kind of
talking about some
summarized
mute,
the-
unmute, right?
Now, some mute.
I think he's kind of summarized the
Paper pattern.
That's it. Okay. So the question paper, basically for the it'll be like on par with the GATE syllabus. Okay, so if you are prepared with the regular computer science, and the subjects including data structures, algorithms, and so on. So I think syllabus is also there on the website. So that will be, and it's divided into a general aptitude part and subject part, right? So I think 1.5 hours of general aptitude and 1.5 hours of subject. And basically, the options it's the TCS platform. So definitely all objective based.
So another question is there any weightage given to the valid GATE score in the PG admissions? So is there any weightage given to GATE score with the PG?
I
Okay, this is the fourth question. Is there any weightage to GATE score with the PGE?
So we don't give a weightage. This, since last year we have been using the GATE score as one more mode. Okay, so if you have a GATE score, then you can definitely put the GATE score as part of your application. And those who have very high GATE scores, exam. We have been doing this last year. Applies it for
Okay. So there's another question which asks about what is the future after MS from ECE department? So maybe about the job prospects and the another academic prospects. So maybe PK, would you like to answer that?
So I think we have MS programs in both computer science and ECE, and both programs we are seeing like a lot of industry keenness in this, and we actually like students from graduating from CS and ECE both take the jobs in the other streams too. There's high overlap between these two areas, as you understand at the postgraduate level particularly. Many of them also go for higher studies because when they join MS by research because they are interested in serious research and serious technical things, and so they also do well here, and many of them continue to do PhD here or elsewhere. So higher studies is another possibility for them. This is true possibly for both as well as PhD. And they are in high demand because the high-tech industry, deep tech industry, the people are looking for candidates with depth in the subject areas. I hope I answered this question.
And Professor Jawahar, there is another question regarding the placement of MTech program in CSE.
Yes. So I think the placement has never been an issue at that level for us in general. Like there is no issue with the placement. I don't remember exactly the numbers exactly for this year, but even this year, where the country has been going through bad phase, we've been doing generally well. Do you remember?
Yes, I mean, I think this year we've had almost like 300 people register for placements. I mean, we generally don't have any issues with placement, so I don't want to add too much, information into that set. Everything is available online, so you can look up the placement numbers for the past year.
Thanks, Professor Raghu and Professor Jawahar. So then there is a question regarding what is the difference in course curriculum between CSIS program and CSE program. So like in MTech, we have MTech in CSIS and MTech in CSE. So what are the differences between the course curriculum? So Professor Jawahar, maybe.
The curriculum difference between MTech and MS?
Curriculum difference between MTech in CSIS and MTech in CSE.
Yes, CSIS has a lot more subjects related to information security, information science, which is a very, very important area today. While the computer science has more breadth, that's a primary difference. You can look at the exact course list on the website. I'm not listing them here.
Okay. And
many of them, they also share a lot of courses. Yeah.
So the other question is for the completion of MS degree, how many papers need to be submitted? And also there is one more related question about MS program is how many years it takes to complete.
So MS program is generally designed with a 2-year program with 1 year full of coursework and another year of full of research. So it's not actually like year plus year, the 2 semesters of coursework and the rest of the time of thesis. Many students sometimes like extend the coursework and start thesis early, and many of them at some stage decide that they want to pursue this area deeper and possibly sometimes continue a little bit beyond 2 years. But generally, say 1 year of serious research can be.
So Naresh, there was a question about, I couldn't see the question. Can you hear me, Naresh?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay.
Yeah. There was a question about should the applicant a research experience while applying? Right, that question was there. I was trying to look for the question.
So the answer is that
the answer is that you can hear well now.
So
Naresh, you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you. So yeah, I mean, so the research experience we definitely count in, and during the so.
Yeah. So my answer to that question is that please don't get worried about having research experience before coming into the program. We are looking for students who are potentially having, sort of say, aptitude, interest doing research. If you don't have research experience, it does not mean that you should not be interested in our MSY research program.
Okay, yeah, that's true. So,
what are questions related to admission process?
I think the answer.
So there is one another major question, like how can I better prepare for exam, the PGE exam? So maybe Vikram, would you like to answer that question?
Okay, so yes, so like I had said, basically you need to prepare the basic topics. Okay, so which includes like in computer science, definitely it's the data structures, algorithms, and so on, the listed topics. So we are planning to ask two kinds of questions. One might be like gate level kind of questions. So the other kind is similar level, but which might involve basically application of the concepts. Okay, so rather than just remembering, you wouldn't want to kind of remember like how quick sort or bubble sort is implemented, but you should apply any concept in new scenarios. So that is the second kind of question. So these are the kind of questions that we would be asking.
So another question is the level of our PG entrance test as compared to GATE CS. So would you like to comment something on that?
Like I said, it would be basically on par. Okay, so however, certain kinds of questions will be like application questions. So where there are application of the fundamental concepts.
So then the other question is in MTech program, what will be the scope of ML and AI in coursework? So Professor Jawahar, would you like to take this question?
In MTech program, what will be the scope
What
of
will
what's the
ML
question?
So what will be the scope of ML and AI courses in MTech program at IIIT?
So, see, our MTech program has lots of elective slots, and we being an institution very strong in machine learning, AI, etc. There are enough elective courses available, and you are always free to take them. And lot of MTech students take such courses.
So I think there is one common question that I see about GATE qualified and the stipend, Jawahar. So do we get scholarship for GATE qualified students?
Yes, so those who have qualified for GATE will get the scholarship on GATE, the AIC norms.
I'm just thinking that we should get onto the call and we should just answer all the questions by typing.
There's a number of questions.
That seems to be the best way to do it, right? If 5 of us answer the question, I think it's all, I'm answering.
Yeah, sure.
Well, we should also speak. Yeah, please do from your side. Please cull out some common questions and ask us. But otherwise, 3 of us have just replied to the chat.
Yeah. I think there's one question about will there be interviews for the MTech? So that again is a common question. I think that's coming across.
That is easy to answer. So for the MTech, there is no interviews. For MTech, there is no interviews. It's a course subject-based exam. And for the MS and PhD, there will be interviews.
Yeah, for some channels of the product design program, there will be interviews, but not for the regular postgraduate entrance mode.
So there is a question regarding, does CGPA of BTech matters for the admission in MTech or MS admissions? So I think we have some minimum percentage or CGPA criteria for BTech performance, right, Vikram? We have something like that.
Let me just check.
Maybe somebody, a couple of them have their hands up, or two or three, maybe, if they want to ask. Naresh?
I don't see anybody has raised hands here.
I see so many people.
So it'd be good if one of us could just keep on answering orally and the other.
Most of the questions are about just the nuts and bolts of the exam.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Is mock test available for PG? How many students on average give PG in the CSE exam?
Okay, so meanwhile,
The questions on.
Vikram, this is another question.
You can keep on answering some questions so that they speak.
So there is a question which says that I have applied for PGEE, and when we will get the admit card of PG entrance exam. So I think after the.
Okay, so the admit card will be given, the deadline is over, so which is on April 10th. So the deadline gets over on April 10th. So after that, we get all the applications, and then within, I think, around 10 days or so, we'll get it. You'll get the admit card. So it will take some time because the TCS people will have to allot the centers. You will be given preference of centers. So based on your preferences, they will be allotted, and then the admit card will be given. Well on time.
Okay.
Answer is getting 4 minutes.
So there's another question about, is it possible to get PhD in bioinformatics directly after BTech if I have qualified GATE in biotechnology? So is that a possibility at IIIT Hyderabad to get a PhD in bioinformatics immediately after BTech with a valid GATE score?
Yes, yes, yes. You can apply for the PhD with your thesis in the area of bioinformatics. You can apply.
Yes, you can apply because we do have for the PhD program a separate, GATE score based entrance.
Vikram, I think there's a lot of questions on what's in the syllabus for the exam. I think maybe a pointer to some site or some general overview. There'll be a lot of questions that probably get answered.
Yeah.
So let me just give a link to that.
So I think the syllabus is mentioned on the IIIT PG admission website for all the programs, including for ECE, for CS, and for civil. All of them, the syllabus is mentioned. Topic-wise, subjects are given, and the exam is PG exam is objective based exam. So you have to prepare according to those topics. And another major question which I see is that what is the process? So for MTech programs, there will be two papers basically. One will be the general aptitude test, and the another will be the course-based exam. So for people who are applying in MTech and CS, they will have to appear for the CS course exam, which is again objective question paper. They also have to appear for general aptitude test. And people who have applied for the civil, they have to appear for again MTech in civil. They have to appear for two exams, one in general aptitude and another is the course-based exam for civil. For both, the syllabus is given. People who are applying for research programs for MS and PhD, they will have to appear only for one exam, which is general aptitude exam. And for research-based exam, for research programs, the candidates will be shortlisted based on the performance in the PG exam, which is the GA test. And then those candidates will be called for in-person interview at IIIT. And then again, based on the performance in the technical interview, they will be shortlisted and offered the appropriate program. For MTech programs, there will be no interviews. The admissions will be completely based on the written test performance, which is the PG exam.
And another thread that I think I'm noticing is, can we apply for both MS and PhD, MS and MTech, those types of things? So
Yeah, so you cannot apply for the MS and MTech together. Right now, there is separate, applications. So you have to apply either for the MS or for the MTech, right? Because the exam will be happening at the same time for both too. So you cannot apply for both. So you can either apply for MS and PhD or for MTech. So you can apply for both MS and PhD, but not along with that, you cannot do MTech too. Okay, so if you want MTech, then you cannot choose the other.
Okay, so I think there's a question on what kind of candidates IIIT is looking for PDM program. So typically PDM has multiple channels of admission, so diversity is the key. Majority of the students come from engineering background, but that is not a necessity. But what would help is if you had some development experience in industry, and not necessarily just IT industry, but something where you have worked with some products, right? It could be civil, it could be mechanical. So some experience of having worked with products is ideal.
So there's another question regarding the PhD admission in cognitive science through the CogJet score or entrance examination that IIIT conducts. So yes, if you want to pursue PhD in cognitive science at IIIT Hyderabad, so both modes are acceptable. So if you have a valid CogJet score, so then we basically shortlist based on the high CogJet scores, and those candidates will be directly called for interview. And the others, those who don't have CogJet score and the people who don't are not shortlisted based on CogJet, they have to appear for the PGE exam. And then based on the PGE exam performance, they will be called for interview. So the list of candidates who have valid CogJet score and who have high CogJet score and who will be directly called for interview, those candidates will be informed just immediately after the submission application deadline within a week, so that they don't have to appear for the exam, PGE exam. They will be directly called for interview. But anyway, everyone who is applying for PhD program has to apply first. Has to fill the application, and then based on the CogJet performance, they will be directly shortlisted for the interview. And if not, then they have to anyway appear for the PG exam.
So there's a question on can MS in the EC do AI, ML, and other things, etc. Yes, so we generally allow people to explore. Once you join MS program, you find an area of your interest, and many of you change your interest also after joining by seeing you get better, you get exposure to more areas.
So there's a question on placement that I can probably take up. I think, do core companies recruit students for EC? Yes. I mean, there are core companies, Micron, Intel, Silicon Labs, etc., which are actually looking at, core VLSI or, signals. So those types of profiles. So they do have an option. Of course, they can also be part of the software, side of the placements, but definitely yes.
So there is a question regarding the part-time. So can you elaborate more on the difference between regular and part-time MS program? So that's one question. So Professor Jawahar, would you like to address that question?
So like I say, regular programs are for people who are fully enrolled and doing only this from morning to evening, and part-time programs are usually for people who are working elsewhere and finding time to do this along with it. But the expectation, the coursework requirements and the thesis expectations are exactly the same. I think there are a lot of people asking this question about, will there be a programming question in the PGE?
Yeah, I answered that couple of times. So you will not have to code any, answer. You will not have to write code as part of the answer. Definitely, code will be provided in the questions. You will have read code. So, and typically the expectation is that you are comfortable with C language.
And a follow-up question to earlier one, the part-time MS is also a couple of times I saw the questions about converting from part-time to full-time. That is possible.
So there are also questions about the placement related to MTech in CSC and CSIS. So at the end of the day, a placement really depends on your strength. So it's very important. Both are in very different ways. They are similar programs. They share courses. So
I think possibly if we turn off our cameras, this might be more efficient.
So I think it's good. Yeah. You can answer questions later. A lot of time.
Yes, it's
Procedure
very-
question.
it's very small.
Orally.
Okay.
Yeah, no time. So you can also engage, keep on engaging. General answers can you.
So one small request for people asking questions. If you want us to parse the questions well, if you can add some hashtags to the question, right? Hashtag placement, hashtag exam, hashtag say research process or research or something like that, will help us also. There's so many questions going on. If you don't answer your question, please do not. There's nothing personal, right? We probably are missing it just because you're not able to parse so many questions. So if you can add some keywords for us to parse, it will be better. And I think some people are asking repeatedly the same set of questions. So I hope either you have seen Professor Vikram's answer on the chat text, or please feel free to go back on the video later on the YouTube and find the answer. If you don't find the answer, come back to us. We will be happy to answer your question. And so please keep that in mind.
I think Jawahar, another question is about stipends broadly for the MS programs. I think that's something MS MTech. So
Yes, so I think the generally we have a support, financial support, which is better than also the GATE support. So this is how, though the GATE is not mandatory for the MS program, MS students are supported.
So another question is like those who are admitted in MTech program at IIIT and are also GATE qualified, those who have valid GATE score, will they be eligible for MHRD stipend?
Yes, they will be eligible. I'll just read out basically the syllabus, because there's a lot of questions being asked about the syllabus. And so there is the general aptitude part, which is 90 minutes. So this part will consist of basic aptitude, logical reasoning, basic questions on computers and maths. So including engineering maths. And a few questions and things like probability and statistics and vectors, determinants, matrices, and so on. Okay, so then there is the subject paper. So in computer science, the subject paper includes the topics ranging from digital logic, C programming, basic algorithms and problem solving. So in these topics, like I said, you will not be asked to write programs, because the objective style of the platform will only allow us to ask objective questions. So though you will be given code as part of the question, that you have to read and answer, right? So other topics include discrete maths, relational databases, computer network. Okay, so like I had said earlier, GATE level preparation should be good, except that you will have to understand the the ideas, the concepts, and in the subjects, and not just be able to memorize certain aspects about it and answer. Right? So you have to apply fundamentals. And so there's also for subject paper in civil engineering, which has parts from engineering maths, structural engineering, geotechnical engineering, hydraulics, and water resource engineering. Okay, so detailed syllabus of this is available here. For computer science, we have provided much more detailed syllabus. Okay, so the reason is that the topics covered in regular engineering colleges, they are, there's not much variation, right? So among those topics covered in different colleges. So whatever is typically covered and what is typically part of the GATE syllabus, that will be available. That will be part of the exam. So this is how you do the exam.
Vikram, there's a question on will the interview be online or personal?
As of now, we have left it, it is going to be a physical interview for the MS and PhD.
So I think the question on will there be a programming question is possibly answered. I think if people don't ask that question, I think we can remove at least 80% of the incoming questions. That is answered already. Please just have a look at it.
And thanks to some of the students using hashtags, I think it is helping. It's helping to parse the question. At least 3 of us are able to see which questions to take when we see the hashtag. When you see the hashtag.
So there is a question, Vikram, about what is the level of question paper. You want to comment about that? What is the level?
Yeah, I've already mentioned that. Basically, it's going to be GATE level. Okay, so and GATE level plus a little because application of concepts.
So there is a question about the number of seats in different MTech programs. So maybe I'll give the answer to that. So in MTech in CSE there are 90 seats. In MTech in CSIS there are 30 seats, and MTech in CASE, which is the civil engineering MTech program. There are 30 seats, and MTech in PDM has 25 seats. So
I think Jawahar, there is a question on conversion, from MTech to MS, MS to PhD, etc. Right? So
yes. So I just answered some of them. So it is possible for you to convert, but if you are clear about what you really want to do, you could do it now itself.
So there is a question about MS program. So MS program, it takes 1.5 to 3 years. Will there be any special placement season for those who finish their thesis post the regular placement season?
See, generally MS students specialize in an area, and they also would like to work in an area of their choice. And companies actually ask us like when the students are available. So we generally complain that students take up a job and before they submit the thesis itself. So it is surely like a personalized placement or help is provided by the placement center. But it is not difficult to get jobs in this sort of specialized area.
So Naresh, just to break the flow, Naresh, I see that the number of people are reducing. So earlier it was 485 and now it's on to 383. So I was wondering whether we should just take a picture with all of us at least on the screen, and I'm sure it can be a very useful picture to use in some place. And Srikanth, can you put us all in some tiles, and Vikram, can you open your video? So
Vikram, there's a question: is there a negative mark in PG?
No, there is no negative mark.
Okay.
Srikanth, did you hear us, or should we just take a picture like however it is right now?
Sir, I changed the view. I think you can also change the view and make it as a gallery.
Okay. So yeah, so I wanted the sort of say number at the bottom in the picture. That's the reason why it's interesting to take a picture right now. Okay, so let me do a picture on a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Let's continue.
Did you get a time?
Yeah, I did not get a tile. I just got all of you on the side.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll continue with the answers. What's the option should I do?
That view thing is there. No,
Yeah.
this view.
Okay.
So one interesting question, which is about can MTech in CSE students also do research, even though it's not a research-based program? So for MTech student, is there a possibility of research in IIITH?
Yes. So they can also replace some of the courses with projects as part of MS. There are research labs. So we have a lot of MTech students who also have done research in the past here. There was also a question somebody asked about like the MTech students, can they convert into MS or PhD later if they find research more exciting, etc. Yes, that is also possible. I think there are a lot of questions related to the cutoffs in PGE. Do you want to comment about that? I don't know how the cutoff is going to help.
So the cutoff should be based on like
Number of seats or the performance.
Number of seats and the performance. So basically, some statistics are used in order to select the cutoff for MTech. So and for the MS and PhD programs, typically we'll select about 3 times the number of the number of seats available, so that for interview.
So there are a lot of questions related to how to prepare for interviews. I think I just want to give you some general hint about how do you prepare for interviews. So you always prepare based on your strength. Whatever area you have or what you have done in the past, whether you have done a basic degree or you should be preparing about your strength, on your strength. And possibly you should also express what you are keen on doing and why you want to do. You have worked somewhere, and if you have done some research, if you have done some project, if you have done something interesting in your life in the past, maybe you should be also ready with the details of what you have done. And that is how you prepare for interview. You won't prepare everything in the world that you don't know just for the interview. You should always strengthen what you know or what you do. It is true whether you are appearing for PhD or MS or CSE or EC or civil, or a lot of questions on that sort. So we regularly see candidates who possibly have basic degree in one area and possibly want to do masters or PhD in an area where like the course program. So we will come with something like with basic degree in other areas. You should be strong in that, and of course you should also be convinced why you want to do in this new area, and you should have something to show that you will be able to do this.
So,
Again, let me reiterate. I think some of you are answering the questions that you have answered before. So it's really nice meeting you of all the panel experts. Do not ask questions about how many students are going to appear for the exam, how many students will be selected, what is the question paper model, will the results be announced after the exam, can I get the calculator? These kind of questions we have already answered. So I think let's get to some questions that we have not answered.
Something about hostels. Will hostels be provided? Will be single room or multiple persons? How many roommates? Maybe even others separate for girls and so on.
Yes, we have hostel. This is a residential campus. We have hostel accommodation, and it could be shared. And there are boys' hostel and girls' hostels.
It's an interesting question, Jawahar. What are the career options, I think, after PhD? I think specifically, can I join as a faculty in IIITH after finishing PhD in IIITH?
So first of all, you have to do exceptionally well to join IIIT itself as a faculty. After that, sure, you will do exceptionally well. You are not about that. But we sometimes also encourage people to work elsewhere and come back. Interesting.
I mean, I'm so happy to hear that question from somebody, by the way, just in case I can't see the question. But whoever asked, if you're even asking that question, you're already there.
So there's another question, which I think is an important question, is that after qualifying the PG exam, can I change my preferences? So my preference one is CSE and second preference is CS and IT. So is it possible, or maybe someone might have chosen MTech in PDM and as a third preference, and can they change it after the PG exam? So is it possible? So Vikram, would you like to answer this question?
So as of now, it is not possible. I mean, we haven't done that in the past, but I wouldn't rule it out. This time we are trying to enable such a facility, but I think you should make up your mind actually by the time the application deadline is done. So that will be in the best interest of all.
So there was a question about will our MS program prepare you for PhD outside India? I typed the answer, but for the benefit of everybody, our MS program definitely will help you prepare for PhD outside India. We have fantastic alumni who are currently doing PhD or have done PhD in the past and have become faculty in some of the best places in the world.
Okay. I think that
Vikram, I think this question is coming back again and again. It's not about a calculator in the exam. They're asking, will there be an inbuilt calculator in the PG exam?
Yes. There will be an inbuilt calculator. So the PCSION platform does provide a calculator.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's another relevant question, which can MTech be converted to integrated PhD? And does this PG program has TA teaching assistantship possible available?
So we don't have a direct integrated program admission as of now. As I mentioned, like you can possibly convert into PhD in the middle of the MTech itself. You have to wait for MTech to be over. And the second question is possibly for TA-ship. Many of our MTech students and PhD students do TA. Is possible.
Professor Jawahar, would you also like to comment on the stipend of PhD students at IIIT? That's, I think, one of the major concerns.
Yes, our PhD stipends are at par with other institutions. I think the first 2 years is 31,000, and the next 3 years is 25,000 per month. And there are also like other special fellowships which are better than that. Some of them from IIIT itself, like a Holy Fellowship, and we also many of our students also get external fellowships from industries and other places.
There's a question on can we get a loan on day one for MTech CS, MTech CSIS? Yes, you can get a loan. So we have tie-ups with the SBI Bank, and they will provide loan.
I think there's some question on interdisciplinary research, Jawahar.
What is the question? Can you?
How is interdisciplinary research being carried out in IIIT under MS PhD?
So it's a good question. I think today interdisciplinary research is very, very, very important, and that is why we want to encourage interdisciplinary research, and that is one reason why we don't build departments. We have research centers, which are easy way of doing interdisciplinary research. So we have many of our students work on interdisciplinary research. They sometimes get guided by one or more than one advisors, and they actively collaborate across different research centers, different topics, different institutions, and do research in interdisciplinary areas. How to do? You need to have some level of understanding of both areas, and if you are strong in one area, you need to have keenness in learning the other areas.
There is one question, and which is again I see asked by many people, is can we apply for both MTech and MS program? So the expectations, I mean the design of the two programs are different. MTech is a course-based program, and MS is a thesis-based program. And we expect the applicants to have a very clear mindset, which program they want to pursue at the time of application, whether MTech or MS. So we don't allow the applicants to choose both options simultaneously, MTech and MS. So they have to either choose for MTech or choose for MS.
Seats in MTech, please once again, Naresh. Numbers. So many seats in each MTech, yeah.
So in CSE program, there are 90 seats, and CSIS, there are 30 seats. In MTech in case CASE, there are 30 seats. MTech in PDM, there are 25 seats.
Somebody is asking this question so many times. I know whether it's one person or any person. In DBMS, transaction and indexing part is eliminated completely. What level is that?
Nothing of that kind is mentioned. So DBMS is part of the syllabus, and functional dependency is SQL. Okay. So right, I guess it's listed here as functional dependencies SQL. So that is what will be asked, right? Yeah. So transaction processing will not be there.
Okay. So if a student with only BTech joins PhD, will they be awarded a MS or MTech degree when they graduate with a PhD?
The answer is yes.
So is it MS PhD 2 degrees? I think that's the question, I guess.
Yes. Let me give it.
So there's an interesting question. How is interdisciplinary research being carried out in IIIT Hyderabad under MS or PhD?
I think
we answered that a little before.
Okay. Yeah.
Another
Now, there are a lot of questions on number of seats in MS. I think we have we have enough seats for you. Don't worry.
And there are also so many people coming on anonymous. I don't know whether they are making the choice. Coming to an ANA for an admission and you being anonymous. I don't know why you should be anonymous to ask the question, can MS be converted to PhD? Of course it can be converted, anonymous attendee.
What are the tentative dates for starting of MTech CSE?
all the PG programs are expected to start by end of July, last week of July or first week of August. That's where the semester starts.
Yeah. And there's no difference between MTech, MS, PhD starting date. All of them, the classes will start at the same time. Your orientation may be a little before for PhD, because all of different parts of orientation, different parts of institute have to get orientation, so it may be 1 or 2 days before. That's all.
Okay. So I think Jawahar, this is one thing we probably didn't get to in terms of the startup ecosystem and how MTech or PG students can be involved.
Absolutely, we have a very strong startup ecosystem on campus. We possibly may have a couple of 100 startups on campus itself. We are looking for students like you who can join us and do startup.
Is there a December intake for MTech?
No.
Not for MTech. There is winter admissions is only for PhD.
Yes. I think the inflow speed has come down on questions. Number of people are registered. So
I realize we can't answer. This is 800 questions.
So there is another question about the interview pattern in the
go ahead.
The interview pattern about MS and PhD, those who are shortlisted based on PG and call for interview. So
I answered that interview question. I answered a little.
Yes.
And I also typed the answer. Whatever Prof. Jawahar said, some paraphrase, I also typed for
interview. Yeah, interview questions we are not giving, but how you should prepare for interview we are telling.
There are some questions about will there be question in computer architecture organization? I think our syllabus is out, so you should probably look at the syllabus, and that syllabus should give you all the details. Anshuman, I think your question is what I tried answering.
MS exams, can you please talk about the exam patterns in the curriculum, like internals and externals in BTech? Oh my God! So when you join MS program and you are taking you are learning different subjects, they all could have different way of evaluating you. Some of them may have written exams, some of them may not have written exam, only practicals, only projects, seminars, other regular assignments, overs. So it changes a lot. Like PG degree or particularly MS and PhD, the courses that you take are not just like your undergraduate courses that you have done wherever you are at this moment.
And a generic suggestion that we also give for orientation, probably this will come, is that it will take a few weeks or some parts of the semester to understand the way that the courses are done also generally, right, on campus. Because stark difference that you will find is that many of the undergrad programs that you may have gone, where you sit in a classroom and professors change. Right? You sit in a classroom, morning first lecture, professor will come,
second lecture professor will come, all that. In our campus, it's the other way around. Professors will go to a room and you have to find out which course you are taking and go to that room and take the class. I think there are these very fundamental differences that you will find from the undergraduate courses that many of the places offer. So it will take a few weeks for you to get a sense of your time management and all that also. Thanks, Neha Paul. I think we're doing all this for people like you only, right? Any student sitting anywhere wanting to come to IIT Hyderabad, we're trying to find ways to get you here. Thank you for your, expressing your feeling of doing this session.
Is Yukta her Jain mess?
So, I don't know very well what Jain mess is, but I've eaten, I eat it with kebab. It's basically less spicy, in some sense.
I think it's more like Sattvic food, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is like Sattvic food. I think that's what she wants to know, whoever it is.
If you worry, don't worry about mess food. Our mess food is far, far better than many places in the country. Thank you, Priyatush. We hope to see you in the interview. So for all of us also to know, he's saying that, sir, I'm very much interested to join the Elite Institute after this webinar session. Please come, Priyatush. So somebody is asking, I think I saw this before. Can somebody edit their details in the application now?
Yes.
Okay.
Until the application deadline, you can edit.
So Ronit Sagar, I hope you heard that. The answer is yes.
So there's a question on, will there be any bridge course kind of thing for us students when one joins MTech or MS in IIIT? I think the MTech, for many of the MTech, depends on the MTech program. The first semester, usually this is kept in mind while designing the curriculum. People will be coming from different institutions, different background, different level of training. For MS, your first semester is usually the courses that you choose, in the sense of all electives, which means usually students choose subjects or courses or papers that you are more comfortable with, so that your bridging will become similar.
So there's another question which asks that as application date is extended till 10th April, it is fixed that exam will be on 6th May or will it be extended? So the exam will happen on 6th May, so it will not be extended. So please make sure that you appear for the exam on 6th May.
Somebody want the panel's opinion on ChatGPT. It's a great technology. We are also equally excited like you.
They are still thinking that this is not ChatGPT.
We are not bots. You can question us something. You're not bots.
That you can ask her what is 1 plus 1. That doesn't guarantee.
You answer us. Yeah.
That's why we kept our cameras on. Okay.
Very nice. Yeah, fantastic. I don't know who this is. Samsung SM G781B. Yeah, please, for our benefit again, for the recording benefit also. It says, thank you, Professor, for this session. Just love the friendly nature of all professors. Hoping to clear the PGA exam and become part of the IIT family. We look forward to having you, Samsung SM G781B.
We also want funny students.
Thanks, Akhil.
So there's a question on when the results of PGE will be announced.
So, let me just check.
It will be on the website?
It should be on the
It is on the website, yeah. That's an easy.
So Naresh, you will manage the time, no? It is 7:11.
Yes.
So how long
Yeah.
do you want to go? You manage
Yeah,
this.
maybe I think we have covered all the aspects, stipend,
Yeah.
the coursework, exam pattern, interviews, and mess food, hostels, and everything. So I think the session went very well, and there were a lot of attendees with a lot of interesting questions. And if there are any further questions, please feel free to write to PG Admissions. There is a separate email ID, pgadmissions@IIT.ac.in, and please write to us any point of time, and we'll be happy to answer your queries. And if there are no more further questions, and it's also 7:12 and it's a holiday too, so maybe let us thank all of you to attend this session on a holiday, and taking interest in IIIT. And I would like to thank all the panel members, all the professors who attended the session, and thanks once again, everyone. So maybe time we should close this session. Unless, if there are any final remarks anyone wants to make, PK, Professor Jawahar, Vikram, Raghu.
No, I think there's one thing.
I'm struggling to read. I'm struggling to read questions.
You need to send it to ChatGPT and get the answers. We should figure a way to do this next time. When the questions come and then immediately it goes to ChatGPT and an answer comes to that. Yeah, Raghu, you were saying something.
Yes.
I'll have something to talk about.
No, I was only thinking about one aspect, maybe because there's quite a few which probably say non-technical background, right? So somebody who may have not the traditional background of engineering. So I guess maybe there are some details online available about somebody who's done chemistry or something like that, right? Vikram?
Yeah, at least from the program side, Raghu, I think I answered one or two questions like that, right? Absolutely, right? It is. I mean, if you're able to showcase I think there was a question of MSc, MCA, all of that. I think if you're able to showcase and clear the exam and do the interview well, I don't think so. You should worry too much about how well you do the program. We have had students in the past who have gone through the program with the background that you mentioned, so it should be okay.
So Vikram, there is a very sensitive questions. Can you please tell us about the distribution of marks in 90? How marks are distributed for PG test for 90 questions?
Okay.
Do you want to say something? Or is a secret you don't want to speak?
Yeah. So basically, if you look at the list of topics, you should cover all the topics well. So we wouldn't want to give much more information than that. Okay, so, but all the topics that have been listed should cover well, especially the fundamentals of the topics, and apply them.
Yeah, last thought from my side was, I saw one Shivam Verma saying that thank you very much, your professor, for clearing doubts. Surely I'd like to meet you in IIIT Hyderabad. We would like to have you on campus first. If you are around and if you want to meet, please email some of us. When you're here for the interview, I think some of us you will end up seeing some of us. Do say hello to us. Do tell us that you attended the AMA session, which convinced you to do the exam well and come and join us. Look forward to having some of you during the interviews. Look forward to seeing some of you. Look forward to seeing some of you in the program and join us in the IIIT Hyderabad. Pursue whatever you're trying to do and your own program itself. Thanks. Naresh?
Yeah. So I think if there are no further comments or questions, maybe we can close this session. So thanks everyone. Thanks for all the attendees, and thank you all the panel members. So I wish all of you to come here and we will see you during the interviews.
Naresh, you don't have seats for those many people.
Yeah.
That's why
But at least they can come.
I was carefully saying that come to the interview, come to the program. The program is
No.
only that much. We can't take
Not
over 22 people.
But you guys can come to Triple IT with different purposes.
Absolutely.
Not
You're
not
all
only
welcome.
for admissions, right? So there are conferences happening.
You're all welcome to walk into Triple IT, meet existing students, and know more about Triple IT also. Please visit Triple IT, know more about Triple IT. That is possibly another way for you to know about how things are running. Feel free, our doors are open, our gates are security, but they will allow you to enter inside. Don't worry about that. Okay, please come, talk to existing students, talk to faculty members, talk to admin office or wherever admission office or whatever you have police. Feel free to do that.
Okay, so thanks everyone. Good luck for your exam and your interview and whatever you're going to do in future.
Okay, signing
Thank you.
off. Thank
Bye.
you.
I wish you good luck, all of you.
Yeah. Good luck, everyone.